Hello there, dinosaurs and Doritos. Welcome to Basically Misled.
I'm Dagny.
And I'm Day.
We give advice. 50% is life-changing, 50% will leave you crying in a stairwell by the end of the day. You decide which is which.
Come procrastinate with us while we chatter endlessly about things you could probably just Google.
Today's episode is about food-related health.
Yes.
Yikes. That topic. We're going there.
Oh, yeah.
I would like to just make a blanket statement, though, that we're not telling anybody what to do at all. That is not our intention with this.
Also, we do not know what is best for everyone.
No.
Like, we are not professionals in this industry.
I would claim, though, that nobody is a professional nobody's a professional. Nobody knows what's best for everyone.
True.
So if anyone claims that they're
wrong,
yeah,
you should get them out of your life.
We're just like everybody else. We're just like you.
Wow. Bonding moment here, us and the listeners.
I know that we are your heroes, and we're just bringing ourselves down to your level, and just letting you know that we're all the same.
So you know, it's like a far level. It's a few levels down.
It's a few levels. What is the level like right below us? It's like you're sort of hero, and then like several more levels down, and then it's like your local hero.
Yeah.
And then like, but we're at the top.
Yeah. I wouldn't like it's dangerous to compare us to like religious figures, but I feel like we're up there.
You heard it here from Day first. That's basically misled is your new religion.
We're not a cult, though.
No.
We're a religion. Please bring us money.
That's true. I am planning on building a castle.
Hey, look for that in 70 years.
50 plus years.
50 plus, that's right.
It's better branding.
Yeah, 50 plus. Okay. So back to health, food, life.
I hear religion is really healthy.
Same. Like...
Oh, that's sarcasm. Okay, we shouldn't get too far into that. Okay.
I was going to go further. Back it up.
Back to food.
Food. Nutrients from the ground. That's what's good for you.
Nutrients from the ground.
And the sky. And anywhere in between. Okay. Yep.
The plants, the earth, the animals, the sky, the sun. Okay,
yeah,
bringing it back.
We're bringing it back.
Bringing it back.
Sucking it in.
All right, so let's start off with what we eat.
Yeah.
That we feel like makes us healthy, because I feel like there's what you actually eat, and then there's, like, what you think would make you most healthy, you know?
Like, what I bought at the store, and, like, what of it was needed and what wasn't.
Yeah.
'Cause, yeah.
Right. So, I feel like you should go first. You go first.
Okay, I go first. Well, I think, like... I don't know. It's, like, such a hard topic. So, like...
Yeah, I've actually never heard you describe what you think is, like, most healthy for you to eat.
Right.
I think, actually, ever. So, I'm curious to... Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever thought it.
Yeah.
Because for so long, it was just, like, what my mom got for us. And so, like... Okay, but when I feel my best, and, like, I feel like food has prepared me for what my day has, or what in store, or whatever... is when I'm eating, like, vegetables, protein, and, probably, like, my smoothies, I think, really help me. Tea helps me. I don't think that's necessarily, like, a thing, though. But, like, I think...
Well, tea is something you're putting in your body, so it's going to have an effect on your body.
Right.
So I'd say that counts in this context.
Water's great. Do I drink water? No. Because I wouldn't count tea as water, especially since some of the time I'm drinking caffeinated tea, which is basically dehydrating you. Not hydrating. And I feel like I eat a lot of carbs. Like, I live a carb-based diet.
Most people do.
Yeah. I mean, it's what we're told we should do.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there are certain carbs that work well for me, like rice and grains, like whole grains, usually that I prepare myself. And then there are things that I eat a lot, like tortillas, which don't always, I think, work the best for me. Or, like, eating a bunch of chips doesn't really work well. I, like, have a huge sweet tooth. It's bad. But I notice when I eat sugar, I don't always feel good afterwards. But I continue eating it.
And you definitely crave it.
I crave it, yeah. Oh, and dairy. I crave dairy, I do. But sometimes I notice it doesn't have a good effect on me. Sometimes it does. Like today, okay, sorry. I don't know if I'm even answering the question right. But I went grocery shopping today. It was a blast. I was also in a huge daze. I was a little off my rocker in the store. But I, like, came home and I made this, like, chicken tikka masala, which is very dairy-based. Like, I mean, you marinate the chicken in yogurt, and then you use, like, a bunch of cream. And I also, like, cooked some of the yogurt when I cooked the chicken as well. So it's very, like, creamy, dairy-based. But I don't think that had a negative effect on me. Like, I don't feel like I feel when sometimes I eat dairy. Like, if I eat too much cheese, that's not good. Or, well, I mean, like, ice cream is, like, my weakness. Ice cream is good for me. Let's just say that. Ice cream is very good for me. But sometimes I take a break from the dairy options. Like, it's very good for me.
Yeah. So aside from things you're allergic to, though,
you
also do have a lot of things that you don't eat. But, like, aside from things that you're allergic to, what else do you feel like you don't eat because you're like, this is not good for you? Like,
okay.
Because I don't actually know quite your qualifications aside from, like, the things you're allergic to, because you look through it. Like, I see you look through ingredients and you, like, you know what's in it and you're paying attention, but I don't always know what exactly you're looking for and what exactly you don't eat.
Okay. Yeah. So, first of all, let me tell the listeners what I'm allergic to, because I don't think maybe I've said it before. But I'm allergic to gluten, peanuts, pinto beans, and kind of garlic. I don't know. I, like, didn't eat garlic for years. I mean, I, like, ate things that were cooked in it, and, like, I ate garlic powder. But I didn't eat, like, whole cloves of garlic, and I still don't do that, but sometimes I cook with it. And then I stay away from artificial flavors and colorings. And, like, artificial sweeteners. Corn syrup. I try and stay away from, like, regular refined sugar. If I can, I try to stay away from starchier based, like, items that are usually in, like, gluten-free foods. I mean, like, I don't always succeed, but, like, I try. And, I try to stay away from, like, things that are really weird looking. Like, words that are really weird looking.
Like words that you don't really know what they are.
Yeah. And, I'm trying to think. Because, like, it's not like I actively think, what do I look for? Mm-hmm. It's like I just look for it.
Right. And I feel like some things definitely have, like, weird things on the label, but it's, like, something you're already familiar with and have ate for a while, so then, like, you eat it anyway.
Yeah, and, like, I also, like, since coming to college, there are quite a few things that, like, I look at, and I'm like, like, I probably wouldn't want to eat this. like, it has, like, regular cane sugar in it. I'm like, probably don't want to eat this, but then, like, I do, because I'm just, like, making that judgment that, like, it's whatever, my body can handle it, and I just won't intake a lot of it. But, yeah, I try to stay away from, like, weird things. Like, I don't do a very good job of this because I also have a weakness for, like, gummy bears. But, like, gelatin, that's something that, like, I try to stay away from when I can, because I know it can be a lot of weird things.
Oh, yeah.
Like horse hooves and bones and...
I don't know if that's necessarily bad.
I don't want to eat horse hooves, because they're probably mistreated horses. Yeah, and I'm trying to, like, think, like, modified things. I try to go with organic things, and I have a friend who, like, always tells me, like, oh, did you know that, like, I learned that organic things don't actually have more nutrients in them? And I'm like, I never actually have said this to them, but, like, I should. But I stay away from non-organic things, not because organic things have more nutrients, but because they have less chemicals on them.
Right.
So I try to stay away from, like, chemicals. I try to eat organic when I can. And I try to, like, not eat a lot of processed meals. Like, I try to make my own meals. Mm-hmm. Because I think that just is... Then I know what I'm doing. I make it the way I like it because I'm picky as well. And it's fun. Okay. Do I need to say anything else?
No.
I feel like I've talked a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. So my thing is a little different than yours because I feel like I don't know if it's like what it is, or I guess don't know why this is. Maybe just because you've probably had like a healthier relationship with food over your life. So I feel like your adjustments that you try to make are like, they're more mild than mine. I feel like I tend to go like very black and white. Like, I've had times in my life where I just was like, eat whatever, like literally, like, you know, and like not pay attention to it at all, or just like very like strict diets. It was mostly about weight loss in the past, which I think is why it was like the very like different like flip-flop back and forth. But the current way of eating right now, which is carnivore, which is basically an all meat diet. I could eat probably some dairy. Right now I don't, because I'm not sure about dairy. Yeah. And I think I'm going to try to add dairy back in sometime, but not at this point. So it's really just like meat. So mostly beef and fish, or mostly beef and like some chicken, fish and pork. Yeah. I think chicken is okay. It gets it tastes a little weird sometimes because like my taste has really changed. But the reason I started this was really because it was basically for mental health, the reason it was like so motivating for me. And it's honestly been like the best thing for my mental health that I've probably like ever done. And it's kind of shocking to me how much it helps compared to other things. Like, I don't know, like I've, you know, exercised like regularly, like for months, you know, like I've been on antidepressants, like I've, you know, left the state to like go to a new college and like got a bunch of friends, you know, when I didn't have friends before. And like all of this stuff that's like good for you, you know, and like I have like a happy light and I will like look at that or like take vitamins. The point is that I've tried a lot of things, okay? But it's just, it's given me like just like more peace than I thought I could feel, like the kind of peace that I had like as a kid. It's like, you know, when you were a kid and like you didn't really, I mean, some people were anxious children, but like you just had moments of like when you were just like happy and like living in the moment, not because like you'd been breathing for 20 minutes in sync on a video and somebody was like, live in the moment, but because you just were.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I'm just more at peace for myself with eating this way. And it's really hard for, even now, like, nobody's physically here, but just saying that to other people kind of freaks me out because I feel like I'll be, like, attacked by a bunch of, like, plant-based enthusiasts.
Yeah.
And that's what really, and you know what, nobody's ever said anything very rude to me at all. Like, nobody has ever said anything to my face. I mean, partially because I hide it, but, like, it still is, like, a real worry to me, but also it's, like, very hard because I'm, like, this literally, and, like, I definitely still have bad days, but I also would consider myself less depressed than I have been, like, since middle school.
Mm-hmm.
Like, generally, and that's, like, pretty amazing. And so if I'm, like, I don't know, if someone is like, you shouldn't be doing this, that's really hard for me to hear because I'm, like, what I hear is, like, you shouldn't be doing this thing that makes you feel not depressed. Like, you should, like, want to, like, or, like, you should hate living every day. Like, I, like, want that for you. That's not what they're saying, obviously.
But, I mean, it is essentially what would happen.
Right, and it's like...
Like, that might seem drastic to some people, like us saying, if Dagny stops doing this carnivore diet, that she'll go back to being depressed and, like... I don't know, like, all this, like, stuff about being miserable and, like, yeah. But I don't think it is, though. Like, I don't think it's drastic to say that.
Yeah. And here's the thing, is that I'm not claiming to know what I was eating was causing my brain chemistry to be like that, but I think it was something. And you know what?
Yeah.
I don't know what it was because the difference between eating... essentially, like, I mean, I do use, like, spices, so that's, like, a tiny amount, but really, like, the just sheer variety of things that the average person consumes, like, even you, like, how many, like, at least 100 things you probably regularly consume.
More today, probably.
Right.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
More 100 of different ingredients.
Right. What do you mean by more today?
Because I bought a lot of food, so I'm eating a lot of different things.
Like, physically today?
Yeah.
But I just mean, like, within a week, how many, like, ingredients, like, do you consume? Or, like, even within a month, because, like, things stay in your body.
Also, like, I don't know. For me specifically, sometimes I go for not eating for a week. So,
right.
Like,
I just mean in a general sense.
I know.
Anyway, so the sheer, like, number of things that most people consume, because even if you're like, well, this was, like, even if it's just, like, a processed this, that's, like, you know, the cheese, and then, like, the 1,000 ingredients following the cheese. It's, like, any number, like, it, honestly, like, people have sensitivities to, like, you know, obviously gluten, and people say gluten affects your mood. It's like, well, some people are like, well, artificial sweeteners affect your mood. And then some people are like, sugar affects your mood.
Sugar might affect my mood.
And so it's like, the point is, it's all these things, and I'm not claiming to know what it is. I could probably and I'm not saying it's vegetables specifically, because a lot of people are like, oh, like, you should be eating vegetables. And I'm like, I think I'm fine.
Yeah.
Meat is also, I mean, I'm not getting into why I do think it's healthy, aside from the fact that meat is a very nutritious food, and there's, like, a lot of resources I've looked into to, like, come to this conclusion. And honestly, anyone who wants to talk about it with me can email us, and I would like to talk about it. But
yeah,
I'm not...
Yeah.
This is not a platform for me defending myself right now. I'm just sharing.
It's a discussion.
How much it means to me, I guess. Because it does mean a lot to me.
Yeah.
Anyway, but the point is, I'm not saying it's not vegetables, because you know what? Maybe it is. Most vegetables we eat now, we didn't eat until, like, recently in human evolutionary history, because we, like, groomed them a lot.
Can I share a really fun story that I have a video of as well, and would be more than willing to share it as a form of blackmail if needed? Not that it's really a form of blackmail.
Okay.
So, Dagny was on the keto diet for a little while.
Yes.
And during this, she ate a lot of lettuce. It was like these bags of lettuce that were, I don't know, romaine lettuce. Maybe it was a little sweeter or something. Great for her at that point in her life. But she also liked butter. You know where I'm going with
I
this?
knew the moment you mentioned the lettuce day.
She would just, like, eat lettuce and butter together.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, maybe that lettuce was the issue.
Yeah.
But, like, it was amazing and great. And I miss her eating lettuce with butter, let me say.
Yeah. I don't know, like, if I would... I think what I would say at this point is I feel like I'm still getting, like, more and more... I don't know, basically, like, happy about life and, like, having a future. Mm-hmm. It's actually really weird because I feel like before, even when I feel like I can see it more clearly now that I'm not in that place. I feel like I was in that place for so long. I'm like, that's life. Like, what is there to talk about?
Yeah.
But now I kind of notice it in kind of like a hindsight kind of perspective. I honestly, like, just thinking of, like, one thing that I wanted to do, like, in that moment or, like, next week or, like, in the future, like, when I have a job was, like, so difficult. But now I feel like there's so many things that I want to do that I realize that anything I choose to do is giving up other things. So it's like there's so many things I would want to do. That, which is a weird concept for me, I feel like. Does that even make sense? You're kind of giving me a weird look.
No, yes, it does. It does fully, yeah.
Basically, I just like doing so many things now that I feel like by picking one, you're, like, basically prioritizing and, like, not doing these other things that would also be good instead of, like, finding the one diamond in the rough thing that doesn't make you want to, like, just fall asleep and stay asleep all day.
Yeah.
Anyway. Maybe that wasn't a necessary example, but it's just, like, I don't know, exercising is a lot more fun. It's a lot easier. I feel like even if it doesn't feel like it, depression is kind of like a low-level pain. And since exercise is basically pain on your body, it's just like another level of it is just like kind of uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you're happy and you exercise, it's kind of just like low-level discomfort, which is like kind of nice because it's like an accomplished feeling instead of like, why am I doing this to myself? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I enjoy exercising now, which is weird. I don't think I've ever enjoyed exercising that much in my life. I know some people do, but whenever I would do it, which would be regularly, like, for a while. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. The point is I eat meat. I do eat some spices. And the things that I generally try to stay away from, like, if I were to, like, I don't know, go off or something. Oh, and I will say I do drink some amount of artificial sweeteners when I drink alcohol, but I'm kind of phasing that out.
You drink alcohol?
But I'm kind of phasing... Okay, yes, alcohol is off. You know what? Alcohol is already a poison. I already knew this.
Yeah.
I'm not that... Like, I'm not so healthy where I'm like, oh...
But you also aren't drinking, like, every single day.
No.
Although you wanted to get used to shots. But, like...
I don't even drink every single week, probably.
Right? Yeah.
I mean, I drank last night and I was like, that was okay.
Right.
Like, I don't know. It wasn't... It was okay. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
But I guess things that I'm pretty against eating now that I think would be bad for me is stuff like seed oils. And... I mean, basically
canola
processed
oil.
stuff.
I stay away from that.
That's good. Anyway, I think that for a lot of people, vegetables are probably fine. For most people, most vegetables are probably fine. Probably. But I'm a little skeptical of grains for anybody. I mean, including myself. Because there's the point is there's things that I'm like, this probably affects me, and then there's just things where I'm kind of skeptical of it as a whole. So it's like grains and seed oils and like, yeah, processed things. Mm-hmm. Things that are super high in sugar that make it easy to consume a bunch of sugar.
Right.
Like even something like ketchup, it's like, does it have that much sugar in it? No. But if everything that you eat is enhanced with sugar, your whole diet is a lot of sugar. So I am skeptical of sugar for that reason. It's more the quantity with sugar.
Yeah.
Because I think if you ate sugar once... I think if you ate sugar the same amount you consume alcohol, if you're not a heavy drinker.
Right.
That's appropriate. I don't know. Anyway. So, but also what I wanted to talk about is how we feel about interacting with other people in relation to, like, what we eat in food. Because I know you've had to, like, turn down people who've offered you things because of what you don't eat.
Constantly.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want me to elaborate on that?
Well, I guess I just want to talk about how you feel when that happens. Mm-hmm. And if other people, like, give unsolicited advice about your diet, and if you ever feel like giving unsolicited advice to other people about theirs. That's what I would like to. So, let's cover that.
Okay. So, first off, I've been gluten-free since I was, like, 8. So, like, 12 years. Over half my life at this point. And so I'm, like, really used to, like, turning people down for food. And in some, like, I don't know, I never feel, or it's not feel, I feel weird sharing my diet as an excuse some of the times. Like, I hide my diet.
You mentioned that.
Yeah, and
earlier.
So, I don't know, like, when people offer me food, or, like, okay, so I'm working at a place right now where food is basically free, because, yeah, they feed everybody, but I can't eat, like, anything that is there, so I always bring my own food, and sometimes people, like, ask me if I'm vegetarian, because I think they have some staff that is, like, vegetarian or vegan that doesn't eat either. But I'm always like, no, I just don't eat this stuff. And I never get into my diet, but they always kind of, like, look at me weird a little bit, and they're kind of like, okay, like, whatever. But, I don't know. I never like turning things down, but I'm also like, I'm not going to eat it. And I'm not going to, like, pretend to eat it for you.
Right. I always thought it would be easier if I was, like, allergic to things, mm-hmm. because I'm also kind of like, well, like, because people also offer me stuff.
Right.
And I feel weird turning it down because I feel like it could be seen as me turning it down for, like, kind of fad diet reasons or something. Like, oh, I just, like, you know, I don't know, like, too stuck up to eat that or mm-hmm. something. Especially because I have eaten that in the past in my life. It's not like you've been going 12 years without gluten. Like, right. I haven't been going, like, years without it. But I'm just kind of like, yeah, this might, like, make me kind of depressed if I eat it. But, like, why do I still feel guilty for turning it down?
Well, I mean, like, there are things that are, like, gluten-free, but I still turn them down because they have, like, artificial sweeteners or corn syrup or, like, something else in them. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I don't eat that. And I don't think people really understand that because most people don't think about, like, those things as things not to eat.
I would say most people don't really know what is in their food, actually.
Right, yeah.
Which was surprising to me because I feel like I've known about that for quite a long time.
I had somebody who I was talking to, and, okay, they're just, like, ornery, but they were refusing to say that they had had sugar that day when they had had honey, a popsicle that apparently they spit out. fruit. And the meat they ate had, like, a sugar glaze on it. And I was like, all of these things are forms of sugar. And they're like, no.
What do you mean, no?
Right. I was like, no, these are forms of sugar.
Yeah. And then I've had people be like, oh, well, no added sugar. Like, that makes a difference if a food is specific. Like, I don't think it makes a difference in the sense that a lot of things use ingredients such as, like, dates that are so full of sugar and then use them in a way, like, in combination with other foods.
Right.
Like, the dates are the added sugar.
Yeah.
Like, it's not, like, yeah, it's, like, a natural food, but it's, like, if you have, like, eating a smoothie, for example, versus, like, if you eat, like, a piece of fruit, like, it's blended and, like, it,
right.
You know, it's broken down in such a way where it's just easier to consume more sugar faster. So, like,
yeah, I mean, like, when I drink my smoothies, I'm drinking orange juice and a bunch more fruit than I probably would eat.
Right.
But yeah, so giving people advice is something that I also am hesitant to do because I have seen people who give advice about food, not, like, usually to their face, but just, like, in comments to me. Like, oh, that person is probably this or that, or they should stop eating that. And while I agree with them, I also think that they don't know the full story. So, like, I don't like to judge people on decisions they've made unless they are contradicting those decisions and, like, not aware of anything. And then I'm like, what are you doing? You say you don't want to eat corn, but you're, like, eating corn tortillas or something like that. I don't know. Then I'm a little bit like, but I don't know. I mean, like, there are certain ways that I think people should eat. And I mean, I don't fully think that everybody should go carnivore, you know, but I think that, like, you're having such a good experience with it. And if everybody had a good experience with it, then they should all be carnivore. But I'm not going to, like, tell you to eat differently. Because, like, why would I? It's working well for you. Like,
yeah.
You know?
I think one thing that I, like, when I'm, like, thinking of, like, I think it's that I want people to know that what they eat could change something important about their health for the better.
Yeah.
And that change, like, could be carnivore because people try a lot of things.
Right.
But I feel like you can't try something that you don't know about. And so I think that's partially for me where it comes from. Like, people who are depressed, like, it's hard for me not to want everyone who's depressed to try carnivore now. Not because I think it would work for all of them. Like, not because it's, like, the one, like, size fits all for everybody. Right. But because, like, it's, like, hope for people who are hopeless, I guess. You know what I mean? And so it's really... So I think that I kind of want to come off a little bit aggressive about it because I'm like, oh my God, like, you can feel better like I did. And then I'm like, oh God, I sound like a cult member, you know?
Yeah.
But so I think, like, that's where it comes from for me, or even, like other health issues that I'm, like, not qualified to give advice about, but I just, like, I guess I want people to know about options.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, I have a friend whose doctor has been telling her for years now that she should be gluten-free. And she keeps telling me that this doctor still thinks she should be gluten-free. But then she also, I think, kind of, like, dismisses this doctor in a way because this doctor tells a lot of people that they should go off foods. And I have never once told her, like, yeah, you should be gluten-free. But in the back of my head, sometimes I'm like, I think maybe that would help her. And I actually think she is right now. But also, like, I know that's gonna, like, change in a heartbeat if it already hasn't. So, like, yeah. I don't know.
And I feel like that's the other hard question with giving people advice. is that I don't think everyone needs to have the same standards about, like, what they want their health to be. Like, I think I'm kind of in, like, a health kick, I guess. I don't expect for, like, to have this much, like, energy and, like, excitement about, like, being healthy. Like,
right.
I don't really expect that to be sustained for, like, ever.
Yeah.
But it's, like, I don't think that this will be, like, forever, that I'm going to be so interested in it. But it still means so much to me to, like, not be depressed.
Yeah.
And I think for some people, like, not having certain, like, I don't know, even, like, because people have, like, healed, like, autoimmune things with carnivore and, like, other, like, basically chronic illnesses, like joint pain and stuff. And so, like, to some people, like, that means a lot, like, not to have, like, certain types of joint pain. And to some people, I don't think it means as much if you, like, you go on and off. And like you said, like, some people probably, like go gluten-free and, like, feel better.
Right.
But, like, how much does feeling slightly better, like, mean to you necessarily?
Right. Because, like, if you keep looking at that bread and wanting that white bread, you might, like, go back instead of getting, like, the brown rice sandwich, hard, small bread that is mainly gluten-free bread.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess I would say at this point, like, my health means a lot to me.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting to think that consuming a specific type of food, like, my mom was in the hospital and people, like, nurses told her, like, she didn't ask them, but basically they were like, oh, I could never do that because, like, I don't want to give up bread. And it's kind of interesting when you think about it. It's like, what does eating bread mean to you? Like, eating bread means, like, your health? You know what I mean? Like, that's, like, one example. But if it's something that you know is bad for you and you're basically saying that eating that one thing is, like, worth that. I don't know. It's interesting.
I mean, okay. I know somebody, real quick. I know a lot of people, apparently, tonight. I know somebody who wanted to go keto, but then they decided, they realized, like, how many carbs were in foods, and they wanted to go keto for weight loss reasons. But then they were like, oh, never mind. Because they needed carbs so much. And, like, I was kind of like, okay, because I think keto's, like, a great diet.
Yeah. I think a lot of people starting keto and then move to carnivore.
Right.
It's the gateway diet.
But, like, I just, like, I think it's really good to, like, cut out the amount of carbs you're eating and to eat more fat. Yes, I'm somebody who believes that fat is good for you.
Yay.
Something I don't often, like, promote on, well, I think that and, like, people eating enough protein are things that I push on people. Mm-hmm. But,
it's a bit of an easier sell than, like, ingredients.
Right.
Like, avoidance, yeah.
But, yeah, I was just, I don't know, I was just like, okay, I guess you need your noodles or your bread or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I need my gluten-free things sometimes, but a lot of the time. But yeah.
Yeah. And real quick, let's just talk about when people, like, I don't actually know this, have people made, like, to you strong suggestions about, like, what you should be eating when they see how you eat? Because I feel like your diet is pretty, like, it fits in, I feel like, with, like, what most people would find as an acceptable spin-off of, like, a standard American diet.
Yeah. I think, I don't have a lot of people do this, but I have one person who tells me that I need to eat more, and I need to eat healthier. And so, like, they're like,
more vegetables?
Like, more vegetables, I think, yeah. But, and because, like, okay, there's just certain times that I just get super nauseous feeling and then I don't eat a lot, or, like, if I do eat, things. But they just, like, if I'm like, oh, like, I haven't eaten anything today, they're like, oh my god, you, like, really need to eat. And, like, yeah, I have blood sugar issues, but I also think that it's more important to me to not throw up or, like, kind of almost throw up than it is to eat something in the morning. Like, I have to eat a little bit of something so I can take pills in the morning, but, like, other than that, I don't think I need to eat all the time. But people think I do. So, yeah.
I don't know, I'm not...
You probably get it a lot more since you've started this diet.
Actually, I got way more on keto. Because
I was going to say also keto.
I was way more open about keto because keto is at least, like, it's a lot more researched.
Yeah.
And there's, like, a lot more backing for it, and so
a lot more people openly doing it.
Mm-hmm, I was more comfortable telling people that, but I was like, I mean, people are like, oh, like, you're eating so much fat, that's, like, gross. Like, I
just rolled my eyes.
Also, oh my gosh, somebody literally said the other day, and this is like, okay, so when I, like, cook fat, sometimes I, like, cook it separately from, like, the muscle so I can, like, cook it longer because I kind of like the muscle, like, slightly less well done.
Uh-huh.
And so I, like, had cooked these, like, little fat pieces and I was, like, eating them and they're, like, very good. I mean, it's basically, like, fried food. Like, whatever. It's, like, very good. And I offered one to somebody and they were like, if I ate that, I would feel impure for the rest of the day.
What?
Yeah.
What about that is impure?
Because it's fat and we live in a fat-phobic society. So, like, probably that. And also, I think there's a lot of, like, push, like, against animal products.
Yeah.
As like,
especially
plants
in the
being
society,
cleaner.
we, like, this little Olympia bubble, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It's very plant-forward.
Right. And I think there's, like... and so, to me, eating, like, animal products seems clean to me.
Mm-hmm.
In a sense of, like, well, like, it wasn't, like, I don't know, there's nothing added to it, like,
yeah,
in that
you're,
sense.
like, not eating any additives, really.
Yeah. And to me, like, a bunch of, like, plant derivatives and canola oil, that's not pure. Anyway... Sorry, canola oil believers.
Who even believes in canola oil?
I don't know, but I don't think people know about how much things it's in. So there's more canola oil deniers. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, so I actually got a lot more crap from keto, is the point. Is that people are like, you're like eating that much fat is, like, bad for you, or it's, like, not healthy. But, for the record, I actually ate more vegetables and, like, more variety of vegetables on keto than at any other point in my life.
Yeah.
Like, low carb, but, like, I ate a lot of vegetables.
Uh-huh.
So, there you go. But it still was not as good as eating carnivore, so.
Right. Yeah.
Anyway, I don't think I tell people enough to get crap for it. It's really funny, actually, because my first thing that I say is that I'll say I eat low carb, and then the second thing I say is I eat a lot of meat.
Yep.
Both things are true, but it's very, like...
It's very broad from what it actually is.
It is, and it's, like, it's very evasive, actually. I'm not that evasive in my normal life. I try to just be really upfront with people, but I'm not confident enough to be upfront about this.
Mm-mm.
So there you have it.
Yeah.
Come talk to me about it. But the thing is, I like discussing it one-on-one. Kind of afraid of, like, a mob coming after me, but, like, one-on-one is
right, good. Yeah. Well, let's just make that mob one-on-one discussions.
Yeah.
You can have conferences.
Mm-hmm.
Like, at the end of the quarter, Because that's where we're at right now. But yeah.
God bless us all. Or, the deities of Basically Misled bless us.
So, yep, I was just gonna say.
Is that us or like...
That's us.
Okay.
We...
Or is it like the concept of basically misled is kind of a deity?
Both. There's two.
What do you call that when there's multiple gods in a religion?
Gods? Not
No,
God.
there's a word for it.
I don't know religion.
Okay, moving on.
Moving on. Yeah. So, our question for today is one you could email us about as well. It is, what does your health mean to you?
It's a hard-hitting, serious question.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Not like normal.
You can find us on Spotify, Google Play, Messy, Castbox, and YouTube. Just search Basically Misled.
Feel free to email us every detail about your diet at basicallymisled@gmail.com. Thanks for listening and good luck with your future endeavors.